One contributing factor for decline in production of coffee in Papua New Guinea is the aging coffee trees that were planted almost 100 years ago when people started to embrace coffee as a commercial crop. The other main contributing factors are decline of extension services and the fluctuating world market prices.
The conventional agriculture extension in PNG had its time and space in agricultural development in our country. At this time of development and living in the 21st century, to develop agriculture further, Papua New Guinea needs to look and adopt a better, cost-effective modality to bring about real agricultural development in rural areas. In 2011, the government of PNG got a loan financing from World Bank and International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, to use the Productive Partnership in Agriculture project or PPAP modality to deliver agricultural development to use at the coffee sector and the cocoa sector.
The coffee rehabilitation project started initially in 4 highlands provinces, namely Eastern Highlands, Simbu, Jiwaka, and Western Highlands in June 2011. Other provinces that have been reviving coffee gardens are Enga, Southern Highlands, Morobe, Madang, East Sepik, and East New Britain. The project has extended to support over 36,000 growers in 10 coffee-growing provinces. The coffee component of PPAP and the Coffee Industry Corporation is an agriculture sector development project. Its principal aim is improve the livelihood or well-being of smallholder coffee growers.
The PPAP modality is all about using a lead partner to provide, in this instance, for coffee extension to our coffee farmers. This is as opposed to the current conventional system where CIC is using, where we have extension officers who are using the same old extension system to deliver coffee development. Despite amount of money that has been spent in coffee extension, the national overall production and export continues to show a decline.
PPAP is all about partnership in delivering extension services to smallholder farmers who are the silent majority in the communities. PPAP is people-centered and strive to deliver through co-partners like we are Trade in Morobe, Egmark, and so forth. Those are the lead partners. So these lead partners facilitate the needs and demands of coffee farmers to help. At least the farmers must help themselves. The key focus here is we go to save farmer, and the farmer in turn must help himself or herself. That's the key area. If farmer can actually take it on and do it something for himself or herself, then the money is worth, the extension services is worth, the labor is worth, and the donor at the same time is hearing some success stories from us.
Coffee is labor intensive, and the return smallholder get for their hard work has been an ongoing concern. Growers are motivated by good price. A good price comes with increase in production, improved quality coffee, and improved management practice.
Paste me minus habe coffee blomi mamperla. No got one black training this lakain.
Because sirana mi hari sambla tok lo this lo work lo coffee kami hama mas. CIC all been come inside. PPA 2 and them all come inside. Na oli toki mi bla ba work osem. Mi bla kissing good money la coffee. So mi hama mas na mi jonim na mi bla work.
You know some trainees. I'm not look kissing solo idea blo have lo picking copy, processing quality, also kind of something and mi look learning.
Now all become give me training na so na copy machine all come give me learn him now. mi so mol lani mi lo frunim na mi school finish. Au blo dry, au blo cutting, cleaning, mol gada mi school finish.
Plenty time mi pla all mamas got big pla at work inside lo coffee, but less benefit. This la now put a moral blom pla or interest mi pla lo come up growing coffee na all this plus something it go down low, but time all or work or PPAP only come inside na connect one time mi pla na all build him. Feelings mi pla lo growing coffee because change me come inside lo life mi pla one farmers.
Growers are based in rural areas. Despite all the hard work to produce more coffee of good quality, market access remains the biggest obstacle. Therefore, under componentry, the project is improving market access for growers in coffee rehabilitation sites.
One of the areas that is generally and mostly overlooked by donors or other pilot projects that are on board to deliver is the infrastructural establishment. I'm so proud to mention this, that PPAP is taken on board infrastructural support facilities to help farmers access their venture into coffee farming or coffee growing. And one of the things that I see PPAP under infrastructure is construction of access road and bridges.
Before, and lot play. And Bakala pocketa. Paret, no Karen no Saricam, Copway no Saricam. 1 night on Busia, 2 nights a year, was a Karim Gorogan Goy. Mega triple cat and coffee blooming. And Mr. Pumapim, I'm Amas 15-20 plavek, me Pumapim, and Atlo Milo me Karimoko. Coffee bloom press and stop the house yet, and press a cigarette immediately 10 kilo number. Me press a Karim gun and press I go cigarette living going. Mi pla busmania looking. Busplo Mike Goroka, you looking, and Tam Protruna. Go Sapro Conana, mi play no service good.
The biggest hindrance to the coffee industry and its development in this country, to me, is the deteriorating road conditions that has really impacted negatively on the industry. The coffee is not able to get to the market on time.
Me stop. Awel sambla yes, even gaman blomi tu inu nap luru blomi nap la site engol coffee gaman blomi you can talk. Me stop new patim brosna. You can service kambeklo. Me des la rural area. Me talk thank you.
For the modality, we have implemented and constructed 9 roads, close to 50 kilometers of that roads. And the impact of it is seen and heard by the farmers. They can express themselves.
Katim kona blon pla one something and me play no nakolos. And me play nindin lot. Me play something. Me play putin money kam naga elpin pla lo sela lot and me play ama mas no to all the people. You know me taso. All the taso ran or 2, or 1, or 3, or 5 and play ama mas to looking the lotika. Bel blon play 2, all the something blon play ama mas no go to. Mi play by some service, mi play by getting coffee blow, mi play lo house and do blow, mi play awesome.
Before mi play start, mi play rote and bagarap. No a good play rote, mi play sexy service, mi play around lo bus, mi play sapi bilum, mi play go garden bilum, and busa karama pe rote. Mi play lo okay market, pero mi play kaiki sa bagarap and sa waste. So now road come now lili service mi plak sim now mi plak kalo market go around lo town coffee bag mi plasa afim pam sete mi plasa karim go lo kuru mountain mi plasa robot normal sa to white toast lo mi playa online lo backside bush place or sa to seme now road come na mi pla mamas
mi plak kam lo baira mi plasa karim coffee bag bikinini sick all mama ga bel tu hard lo gol obura lo sim helpi mi no gat au sixo mi pla sabrukim disla road kam em bipla busia mi pla kam anta lo mountain kam brukim nar pla bipla wara kam gen kam brukim disla wara now road emi go stop longem na mi pla sabe kam go osem emi sabe take mi pla one all day lo walk about igo lo barabundora lo kisim helpim lo au siko karim coffee bag one time igo gen lo nombia go silip ol nombia sa charge mi pla gen lo house lo silip mi pla baim gen Na kalap gen lo karblon mi pla sabe baim lo 1 pla bag coffee mi pla baim 20 kin again na karim go lo kainan tu gen. Now mi pla sa eximol something gen I kam gen lo nombia sa charge mi pla gen lo. Oligli santin mi pla karim mi kam silip gen lo aus plongol mi pla sa wogo about gen lo disla bus roti kam. Namel lo disla mi pla mama yet ikam. Ol nombia o online log nar pla side ol auyana tu sa kam road block lo namel lo bus stilim something lo mi pla o rebi mi pla ol meri mi pla sa painim pipla heavy lo namel lo disla road lo wogo about inside lo bus.
Mi pla sa hard lo delivering pikinini because of road. Planti mamal mi pla lucy life, planti pikini lucy life. Planti time display ol atwok mi pla make him lo grow him garden, grow him coffee. All this lo coffee mi pla too because of road and mi pla sa hard lo salim out kisim income lo logout him na manage him family. Planti time kago mi pla lo goroka kam em sa kam silip hamas pla night lo road em sa loose. Now road time road come inside lo display legally have time road start inside lo display here and mi pla look him big pla chains mi pla can look him osem mama em go straight la house clock sim pigenini mi pla semol grease salt soap mi pla kam lo dua mi pla look him osem mi pla can come out na salimol market kai mi pla lo exchange him lo kesemol grease salt la house go first time coffee mi pla sa purma pi miet na karem go na range sa wasim kain na coffee sa go bagarap now this year's coffee mi pla salim direct lo house dua na coffee kare kam lo rimo ta coffee blom pla go out good pla mani mi pla kesim tuna
Semi 1 pla mama sa wogo about lo disla road one time pikinini na coffee bag na ligli kai blo school pikinini lusi lo town tu mi pla sa karim na wogo about lo disla road osena mi thank you through lo well bank fundim disla road through lo PPAP na CIC all karim disla road ikan house yet ba mi pla go straight lo town na kami go back end lo house mi mamas na mi thank you lo disla
mi pla lo kon se men big pla chain straight time road come inside emi no kam lo peppers lo coffee ta sol no gat planti life pla mi pla lo komos dem emi come back time road kam em kisim planti life come inside na em one pla big pla change through road em kisim kam
That by just rehabilitating 5 kilometers of road for about 2.5 million kina or so, the amount of coffee that is coming out that was never go to the market is now coming out in huge amounts. And therefore, when we talk about agriculture development, we must not be restricted to talking about the coffee trees only. We must be talking about enabling environment, and CIC therefore should take charge of ensuring that the coffee economic roads are being rehabilitated so that we bring the coffee to the market.
Changing or rehabilitating growers' mindset is an important part of coffee rehabilitation exercise. The project realized that growers must be empowered into the marketplace. Some activities that have been implemented include personal viability trainings, gender training for equal participation in coffee work, financial literacy, and group strengthening workshops. Many grower groups became dysfunctional because of lack of professional management and governance issues.
Plus lo house line blomi at misa lukimasem or man also wasting time lo sanap lo that wasting time lo sanap lo court case play cash and all this la financial literacy training ve emi come up emi one pla important training straight emi been come up because planti manmeri lo plus emi jumi savo jumi tino sem jumi okay but still mindset emi problem
big pla tok em giving me plan emi kisim des pla tok na mi putim golo work em mi make him good something na a legal business kind of trade store or poultry starting lusim na lo sambla time and problem lo finance des la kain tu mistake and stop lo mia mi lukim
time emi big plus something because all white man all talk em jumi sahari mo sem time is money and money is time em mi play lukim disla mi yet mi lukim disla mi true emi time emi big plus something ve mi play need lo wise lo use him time.
The success of the project was based on lessons learned and said demonstrating the effectiveness of partnership among lead partners, field extension officers, project management staff, and CIC officers on the ground. Implementing a project in a country with 700 plus traditions is a difficult challenge.
We now declare the coffee wet mill now open.
This is one of the targets that we have delivered.
The level of education among growers also makes it difficult for farmers to appreciate, accept, and take part in the rehabilitation activities.
So we are following the CIC guidelines to build those wet mills. And what we will do is it becomes a central processing unit for the farmers. And we will also buy coffee right there at the wet mill points or centers. And in that way, it helps us to control quality right from the cherry, comes to the wet mill processing, and from there it goes on the drying beds. So we maintain the quality from there, and then it will come down to the dry mill that we are building at Natsap.
Under this project, it's no longer just about training. And that has been the downfall of the conventional extension system, for them to rehabilitate the coffee gardens and then to produce the coffee. And then once they harvest, they don't have coffee pulpers. They start using sticks, stones, and so forth, that really impedes on the coffee development in this country.
In the past, we have done rehabilitations, I think in 2008 and 10, and that program, of course, was implemented successfully, but when it comes to sustainability, it could not sustain itself. So now we're looking at the model that is that will work, effective, but at the same time it's sustainable.
Before se mi pla looking coffee o se mi no helping me pla good na or mama inu rai walk coffee no got. Now project come inside na em kisim kind training come inside long helping me pla long how long look out him coffee na how long salim all this plan now sem all mama mi pla hama master wrong this pla project come inside na I'm helping me pla good.
Training and working with farmers have been an important part of reviving existing coffee gardens, rundown blocks and plantations.
Lo before the amas playa papa kaya start bisla TV manta bisla kurun or something me plan no got idea. All no got idea too. Time check up become me plan make more na me plan amas playa me plan kaya minus I look in this plan in green. For my lifetime and minus I look. I'm no got. Now, thank you well back. If fund him, this la project come back long. Private sector lead partner Jacob Taro. Na time me bring this la. Work long coffee ka me line plant is something underneath long lead partner.
Me lookum coffee some strong mock some leaf. Nam ben em karam tu em drive la through. When me big him na me go salim cherry too. And ben he got more weight na. If win him wait before mibla sa pigim long na mibla kisi money in win him before mibla yet the manage na pigim na gaya stop him so.
When AgroDev Limited began this project or started talking about this project, a lot of farmers were very skeptical about whether this project will actually be delivering the services that it will be, because of a lot of bad experiences that they've experienced in the past.
We've got a lot of spillover effect. We in fact have 120 hectare project fully rehabilitated. They're not part of this. They're in the Panandaga tribe.
During the implementation of these blocks and plantation rehabilitations, those Thomas types of farmers have seen the physical development of the coffee, the physical positive improvements, and they are now coping and actually also gone ahead and rehabilitate their own blocks.
The Panaraga tribe has 4 20-hectare projects. 3 are with us, 1 is out because they wanted to do it themselves. But we are surprised that they have been attending our training, learning and applying everything. And they got the best 20-hectare project right now.
The participating growers, including women, have their own stories to tell of how the project has impacted their lives.
Mi mama Mr. La House, emok lo papa am kisim kopi ko salim em kisim mani nam karing kam. Time em kisim mani kam, mi bla sabur ki mosem hab am bla putila baim school people all pikini ni bla mi bla. Hab bla mi bla la wasle mi bla la time bla heavy wari em kam.
Kofi season em finish time em. Amas mani mi bla ksinlen mi bla sa budgetim putim. Osa sambla mi bla kege pini sambla mi bla putim len mi bla lugauti khagaru gen. Okay, baim school people pikini na baim ol kege na putilo stowa. Big pla pikini blo mitla em stalo school na liglig em stalo elementary big pla em stalo mospi UPNG. Now em kam holiday mi plat stop. Em holiday em kam mi plat sa stop and them now em pla cleaning ol coffee blo mi bla ya. Holiday em come back time. Em sawe osa mama papa kisi mani lo coffee. So em come na help mitla.
Mitla ol mama kisim training lo. Cleaning coffee lo has.
Ol mama mi place toka you Mary you can marry lo mi em coffee stop lo ground lo mi so. Em kisim kes kam lo pocket. Pour ma pim na mama no sabe lo tranguato mama no sabe lo money. Ol papa mi place kisim coffee go. Ol mama is no sem papa ba kisim coffee money kam straight ya kari moro goroka. Mi place go stop go in finish mi place looking face lo money now. Mi place go psych up lo money na powerful one time toy Mary can drink beer spark give him man nothing go no. Mi place come back to house now. Mama say ask him papa money we no. Me more askolo limi next mo kata money na mi kam nothing now. Ay mama say foul. Em say katum tu platin.
Feelings blow, money blow coffee now I'm going to direct lo bilung blow mi pla ol mama. This la now we make mi pla. Hamamas na one pla big pla chains or say mi pla can count him coffee money because mi pla kisim coffee money direct lo dua. Past time all man sa karem go lo town, all sa salim out. All sa kam talk straight to giamantu and mi pla no sawe but all sa pauli mi pla go through.
Time ol mama oli looking mo sem ebi lo papa go big plan na ino nap lo lo mama now. Em ol talk mi losing place na kam to so place ye mi kam li mi ba ndai lo place lo you mania mi kam ye. Tani be kem ol tani all planim coffee. Planim coffee go okay. Already start time price kam la ustua. All isita sol kisim na all pruma pi money blown na mi plasta. Gender equity em ol mama now looking money, papa too looking money. Na oko tani mi plauron wante.
When the coffee came in, it was a men's trade, you can say that. And women were never involved. But with PPAP coming in, we now doing awareness on gender equity, so the women also must be involved in coffee activity. We've only got 2 women involved in this project when we initially started. But as of today, 250, 300 women, the wives of the farmers, are already attending training, are already involved in the coffee rehabilitation program, in the processing of coffee and so forth. Yes.
The financial literacy training is supported by financial institutions like Microbank in Jiwaka and BSP branches in Mount Hagen, Goroka, and Kokopo.
It's a way of budgeting the income, that as well as saving, putting the money in the bank, and it is slowly getting there. But eventually, when they witness, their own fathers, their own mothers, their own brothers and sisters doing it, they will be convinced to also do it themselves.
Our farmer groups, they don't have the capacity to grow on their own. So a lot of investment has gone in, but without building the capacity of the growers, how do they sustain? And through the PPAP model, they have worked with lead partners in the private sector. This is something that is very, very important, and that's why we are seeing a lot of positive stories coming out from PPAP.
Distribution of much needed tools and materials to growers covered under the project is one intervention under Component 2 of the PPAP coffee. By the end of this project, in June 2019, 35,000 plus households in 10 coffee-growing provinces would have received much-needed tools like spade, scissors, hand pulpers, canvas, etc.
So this project provides as a holistic approach where not only training is provided, training is also provided with appropriate tools and equipments to our farmers who then use them to implement those trainings to produce good quality coffee. And then the marketing aspect of it, which the project supports and encourages the farmers into group marketing so that they begin to not only produce and just become sellers, they also produce and they also master their own marketing by group marketing.
Some of these farmers live in very remote parts of the country, accessible only by small MAF planes like Simbai, Kovong LLG in Middle Rambu district of Medang province.
PPAP comes under CIC, but it's established as a secretariat or what they call project management unit. And then it is this unit that tries to become the catalyst of activating changes within the coffee farming and the coffee farmer group settings to really pick up and move.
The government of PNG has tasked the Coffee Industry Corporation to facilitate increase of coffee production to 2 million bags by 2022. Frankly, this will not happen because whilst that is the government's intention, that is not the farmers' interest. And that's why we continue to miss meeting the government's aspirations. The farmers' interest is about, from their coffee, how much money gets into their pocket. One of the major issues they have, and they continue to talk about, is price. They want better price. They keep on talking about price in every forums when you talk to the farmers. And therefore, our program should be geared towards how to work with them to get better prices.
This PPAP project is very, very transparent. It is very accountable, and we are continuously reporting to the PMU on how the funds are spent.
It's very effective, it's transparent, and it's deliverable, meaning that over time CIC may want to privatize the extension services, and this is very important because of the capacity problem and of course the resource.
In its management, it is applying prudent management, and that really matters, and that really makes the difference in impacting the commodities on the ground in the coffee industry.
After the PPAP project life, we'll continue to work with them for the next 10 or 20 years or even 50 years so that we can make significant or meaningful impact and change in the communities in the long term. That's what the project is about.